Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be playing with a ton of makeup from Makeup Revolution. If you're not familiar with that brand, it's a drugstore brand. They're super affordable, and I noticed a lot of their makeup is kind of like knockoffs of high-end makeup. So I figured for today's video, I'm going to be comparing Makeup Revolution to the brands that they basically rip off. If you guys watched my favorites of 2018 video, you know that I loved their foundation. So I just kind of wanted to see, is the rest of the stuff good? Is it as good as high-end makeup? Because definitely their foundation can compete with high-end, but I don't know if that goes with everything from them. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell next to it. That way you get notified every time I upload. Let's just get on in with the video. So I'm going to start off with my brows, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the right side, so my right, which will be your left, be the high-end makeup, and then my left side, which will be your right, is going to be the Makeup Revolution side. So for brows, I'm going to be comparing the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade against the Makeup Revolution Brow Pomade. Okay, so this is already off to a bad start. I purchased the shade Dark Brown, thinking it was going to be dark brown, and this is the shade. This is a regular brown, in my opinion. And the shade Dip Brow that I have is Ebony, which is really dark. Also, the Makeup Revolution one comes with this brush, which I'm literally not going to use at all. I just feel like I'm not even going to be able to compare the two if I'm using a crappy brush. I'd rather use a good brush for both of them. And I'll start with the Anastasia one. I'm going to try to go really light with it too. That way, it's not as big of a difference between the Makeup Revolution one. And just so you guys know, I am using the same brush, but I do have my Cinema Secrets brush cleaner with me, so I am cleaning it in between. That way I'm giving it the best shot with the same brush, but I don't have any other product on it. I like the consistency. I think you just have to, with any pomade, go really light-handed and build it up instead of going in with a lot right away. So, brows are done. I don't love them, but I think that's kind of my fault. I definitely should have ordered the black one instead. Anastasia one, I feel like this brow just looks really natural and clean. And this one looks good, but because the color is off, you can kind of tell that it's filled in. Other than that though, I actually really liked the consistency of this, which really surprised me. So for eyeshadow base, I'm so excited to compare these two. So this is a new product from Makeup Revolution, and this is their Cut Crease Canvas, and I'm going to be comparing that to the P. Louise eyeshadow base. So again, I'm going to prime first with the P. Louise base on my right side. So typically what I do with this is I will just place some on my lid, and then I will take my defining brush to get up to my brow bone, and then what I like to do is just buff the rest of it out and kind of pat it in with my brush. So there's that eye all primed. Now I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution one. This is really strange. Like, it has a brush. There's so much product not on the brush though. I'm not going to use this brush. By the way, I have the shade Medium, which is really light. I think it's good though, compared, like shade-wise, compared to the P. Louise one, but it's still very light. And then I'm just going to clean off the same two brushes that I used and use those for this. This feels a lot liquidier than the P. Louise one already, which I don't like. think this one looks like it has more coverage because it's brighter, but in person you can tell they both have about the same coverage, so that's really good. The biggest thing I noticed was the consistency between the two. The Makeup Revolution one is more liquidy, so I don't know how it's going to dry down. So the P. Louise one does, that's why you don't have to set it, but I do feel like I don't know how this one's going to perform. I'm not going to set either of them though. Let's get into eyeshadow, and I'm going to go back to these to cut my crease. For palettes today, Makeup Revolution definitely rips off some high-end brands palettes. There were quite a few options I had to choose from that look exactly the same as the high-end version. This palette right here, do you know what this looks like? This is the Reloaded D-Vision palette, and it looks identical to the Anastasia Subculture palette. I mean, they did not even try to hide the fact that they're the same palette. So that's what I want to use today. I know a lot of people don't like the Subculture palette, but I actually really like it. I think the colors are really unique. That's another reason I really wanted to compare the two, just because if you like that color scheme but you didn't like the formula, I'm hoping that maybe this is a good formula that you could do instead. And let's get into this. I'm really excited to compare these two. I'm hoping they look the same and the colors don't show up different on me. I think I'm gonna start with the shade New Wave. That is this shade right here. And in the Makeup Revolution palette, they have this shade. So I have two Morphe M441s, and I will use one for each side. Let me just clean them off so there's no product on them. So already off the bat, I can tell the color is not exactly the same. To me, the Makeup Revolution palette looks more washed out than the Anastasia one. The Anastasia one looks a lot more vibrant, and that's because these are pigments, so that makes sense with why they're kind of harder to work with and why they would be more vibrant than a regular eyeshadow. On my eye, this color is coming off more of like a yellow orange. It's definitely not as orange as the Anastasia New Wave is. It's blending really nicely though. Now I am going to take a Morphe M433. I have two of them again, both are clean, and I'll use one for each palette. And I'm going to be going in with the shade Destiny right here. And in the Makeup Revolution palette, it is this color here. Usually cool tones are harder to formulate, so those are the colors I want to play with in both of the palettes. So I'm starting with the Anastasia side, and I'm going to work this color in the outer corner and into the crease. I'm going in with a smaller brush. This is the Morphe M514. I do have two of those again, so I'll use one for Anastasia and one for Makeup Revolution. And I'm really just going to try to blend this color out a little bit more. Definitely not as pigmented in the right away. Yeah. I mean, that looks like nothing. Oh my god, these are not gonna look the same at all. Look at that color. Let's continue. I'm gonna take the 514 again. I'm gonna take the shade Axis, which is the dark blue, to deepen out my outer corner, and then I'm taking this shade in the Makeup Revolution palette to hopefully deepen this up more. So, and yeah, it looks like crap. Definitely better in depth, so hopefully I can use that to kind of make these two a little more similar now. Can't really build this color up. So the thing is, when I start blending these shades out, like you can see with the Anastasia ones, they kind of stayed where I blended them, and that's what you want. These, when I start blending them, they just start mushing together into one color. I can't really keep the colors separate from one another. The more I try to blend, the worse this is looking. So taking the P. Louise base on my Morphe M508, I'm gonna cut my crease. And before this dries, I'm just gonna put the lid color on, and then I'll do the Makeup Revolution side. So for the lid shade, I'm gonna take shade Electric. I'm not spraying the brush or the shadow or anything. That way we can really see how pigmented these shades are, if they are pigmented or not. Let's just buff it out. I'm gonna go in with Untamed, actually, not Access again, and just use that to blend the two together here. That eye's done. Let's try the other side. It says to use the brush. I'm just nervous. This has so much product on it. I'm just gonna do it, because like this eye can't get worse. I liked it, but there's so much product on the like rest of the applicator that I got it like all over my eyelashes, which I don't prefer. I'd rather have just used my brush for it, but it's okay. Like I need to scrape this color, by the way, to get it off, which I think I'm gonna like scrape it in a little. There we go. So I had to like break the shadow to get this. I'm just gonna blend the outer corner with the Untamed shade. Like this eye looks nice. And this looks so cheap and bad. The lid shade is not the same at all. The Anastasia one is more of like a duochrome with a little bit of glitter in it. It's like a green gold duochrome, whereas the Makeup Revolution one is pretty much just like a green with like lots of silver glitter in it. I hate the palette. I actually like the eyeshadow base. I definitely wouldn't use the applicator that it comes on, but I do want to try the eyeshadow base again. I don't know if it's as good as the P. Louise one, to be honest. I think the P. Louise definitely helped with the lid shade way more than the Makeup Revolution one did, but I don't think that it's a bad alternative at all. The palette, I would not even spend $7. So for primer today, I'm going to be comparing the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I felt like maybe it would be similar to this product that I found for Makeup Revolution. This is the Hyaluronic Fix Spray. It says it's a hydrating and plumping makeup fixing spray. So I was really intrigued about this. I'm gonna just use this palette to like separate my face, I guess, and I'm gonna spray my right side with the Smashbox spray, and then I'm gonna do the other side with the Makeup Revolution one. I actually like how this feels in mist, so we'll see if they look the same. For foundation today, I'm going to be comparing the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation, and when I look at the tube, it reminds me so much of the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I haven't used the Clinique one in a really long time. I don't remember what it looks like. I know that I liked this foundation, but I don't remember if it looks anything like this one. All I know is they both have that same doe foot applicator, which makes me want to compare the two because I feel like they're going to be similar to each other. I do have to mix a little bit of my whitener into the Beyond Perfecting foundation because this shade is a lot darker than the Makeup Revolution one, but just so you guys know, this does not alter the formula. With the primer so far, both sides of my skin feel the same. I'm just going to take this like such. I'm just going to tap a little bit of the white in and blend them together. And typically what I do is go over it with a beauty sponge. So I have this Tarte sponge. I'm going to use 1/2 for the high-end side, and then the other half will be the Makeup Revolution side. So now I'm going to clean this brush off and do the other side with the Makeup Revolution one. Then I'm taking the other side of the sponge. I'm going to pounce this in. So I actually like the Makeup Revolution side more than the Clinique side. I mean, I love this Makeup Revolution foundation, so that doesn't surprise me. Just definitely see more of my texture and pores on this side than I do on this side. I feel like this side just looks a little more blurred and airbrushed. So this is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer, and it is supposedly supposed to be a dupe for Shape Tape. I did try it and I liked it. I don't think I liked it as much as Shape Tape, but the problem I had with it is it ran out really quickly. This is 0.14 ounces, whereas Shape Tape is 0.34 ounces. So you're getting more product in Shape Tape, but Shape Tape obviously does cost more. So I will be comparing these two, and let's just get to it. Now I'm taking, ooh, that's a perfect color match to compare. So I'm taking Makeup Revolution on this side. We'll just kind of see how it sets and everything. So I do have a powder to set with. I will be comparing the Laura Mercier translucent powder against the Makeup Revolution translucent baking powder. I'm gonna blend out my under eyes again, and then I'm taking the Laura Mercier. Which you can, that has the worst smell. Oh my god. You can tell the color is a lot lighter too. Oh, this is gonna have flashback. That smells so bad, guys. It smells musty, and I know it's gonna give me flashback. You can even tell because all the lights, it's picking up on camera that it's gonna leave. It didn't even set good. I mean, the Laura Mercier even, it set way better than that one did. So I'm gonna skip a few steps now because I don't have any bronzer or blush or contour to play with. So I'm gonna do that and finish up the eyes off camera, and then I'll come back and we will finish this. Okay, so I haven't put blush on yet or cleaned up my bronzer because I do have another powder that I want to try out. So this is the new Big and Blot powder. I have the shade Banana Light. This reminded me so much of the KKW Beauty brightening powder. So even the packaging to me is super similar. Just see like the way that packaging is reminds me a lot of each other. The colors look the exact same. So I'm really excited to try this out, see if it's just as good. So I actually have two brushes that perform the same. I have a Morphe one and a Real Techniques one. So I'm gonna use the Morphe with the KKW and the Real Techniques with the Makeup Revolution one. And then for the center of the nose, I'm just going to do the Makeup Revolution one, since that's what we're trying out. Now I'm just going to dust it away. I'm using a clean brush again. I actually like the Makeup Revolution one too. I can't really tell a difference. Okay, that's a winner. That's a good one for highlighter. I have two. I'm going to be comparing the Farsali Jelly Beam in the shade Rose Goals to the Makeup Revolution Jelly Highlighter in the shade Prestigious, which was a rose gold shade, I believe. They definitely look like different shades, but it's okay. This is not as, you can see it's like not really moving around, and there's not like, it's not filled up all the way either. But this one, you see how it's like super liquidy and jiggly? Okay, I'm gonna just apply this with my fingers. I'm gonna go in with the Farsali one first, and then I'll probably go over it with my sponge. Wear this. I've never used this, and it's not blending at all. I don't love this. I'm mad. It does blend out if I spray my beauty sponge with that Makeup Revolution Hyaluronic Fix. So that's like my favorite product right now. I don't think I'm using it right. I think I need to use it underneath my makeup. Color's completely different. Good. Love that. Blend's actually way easier on top of makeup though. The Makeup Revolution one looks so much better than the Farsali one. Oh my god, but I'm happy. This is a winner. I also picked up a regular highlighter from them. I'm going to be comparing the Strobe highlighter in the shade Gold Addict, which is beautiful looking, to the Laura Geller Gilded Honey. Just the way like the swirls are really remind me of each other. Let me get 2 clean highlight brushes. So I have the Anastasia highlighting brush and a Morphe highlighting brush. I use both of these all the time. I clean both of them, so I'm just gonna use one for each. Oh my god. Yes. I love this. Oh my god. Honestly, I don't know who won in that one, but this Makeup Revolution one is so blinding too. First, I got the Makeup Revolution Retro Luxe Matte Lip Kit. This was on sale for $4.50. You get a lip liner and a matte liquid lipstick in it. So obviously, I mean, this reminds me of the Kylie lip kits. So I'm going to be comparing this one, which is in the shade Bow Down, to the Kylie lip kit in the shade Exposed. I swatched them on my hand. They looked pretty similar. This formula though is really similar. So when the colors dry down, they're not too far off. I mean, obviously this is a little darker, but it's not a huge difference. Formula wise, I don't hate the Makeup Revolution one. I actually really liked the lip liner. I thought it felt like the same type of formula as the Kylie one. But the lip, it's not bad, but it definitely is a little bit of a thicker, drier formula than the Kylie one. I did see they have new matte liquid lipsticks, so I picked up the shade Darling, which is like a really pale nude, and I just want to play with that. So I'm just going to put that, I think, on the center. I think it's a different formula too. Feels thinner, so that's a good thing. I saw that they have these new jewel lip toppers, which, I mean, you know what packaging this looks like. It looks just like the Fenty Diamond, or Fenty Gloss Bombs. I looked at the 3 shades that they have, which is really ironic that they have 3, considering Fenty has 3 shades. The ones that, like, I guess might have been for the original Gloss Bomb in the Fussy shade, I don't think it looked anything like them. The only one that I thought looked similar was this one, which looks like the Diamond Milk, or I don't know the name of it exactly, but that Gloss Bomb from them, which is not the one that I have. I have the other 2. So I wanted to buy it just because I'm not going to buy the Fenty one. It's not something I'm going to wear all the time, but I thought it looked nice. You can see though, I mean, the packaging is exactly the same, but just for fun, let's just put this on the lips. Yeah, completely different formula. These are definitely different. The high-end side eyeshadow looks, I think, a lot better. It's way more vibrant. It looks more blended on the end. I mean, I think you can tell, like, this end looks blended. This kind of looks messy here. And then as for the skin, I think that translucent powder just like screwed it up. On my forehead up here on this side, It's so weird because I have creases on this side and not on this side at all. Same with my under eye. I feel like you can tell, you can see a little darkness peeking through on this side, but you can't as much on this side. Oh, I just want to show you guys my favorite Makeup Revolution products that I used in this video and my least favorites. Obviously, I like the foundation. I've used that on my channel before, so I'm not gonna go any more into detail about that. I really liked this spray, the Hyaluronic Fix Spray. I definitely will continue using this, and I really liked both of the highlighters. I do want to retry the Bake and Blot powder just because I feel like it worked, but I do need to try it with like good makeup. My least favorite products were the translucent powder. This smelled awful. It didn't work good. I feel like it left me with a white cast. Don't recommend that whatsoever. And I also obviously do not care for this eyeshadow palette. I would just rather have the better quality one. That is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, I made a new makeup related only Instagram account. It's my same @name @jazsummer_. It just has makeup at the end. So I'll have a link to that down below. So I'm just separating like my personal page from my makeup. That way all my makeup videos and tutorials and pictures are all in one place. Please go and follow my new one. It's got some catching up to do. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.